capital. This is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight.
Hello and welcome. I am Olumide Macaulay. Tonight, the Save Rivers Movement rally in Port Harcourt ends in pandemonium as police disrupt gathering. They deny firing rubber bullets alleged to be responsible for Senator Magnus Abe's injuries. President Jonathan warns youth and politicians against spilling blood in the name of politics, cautions senior citizens over making inflammatory statements. The former Attorney General of the Federation, Richard Akinjide, challenges opponents of President Jonathan's 2015 candidacy to produce evidence of agreements not to run. And gunmen shoot dead Libya's Deputy Minister of Trade in his hometown east of Tripoli. A very warm welcome to the news at 10. We begin in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. A rally by the Save Rivers movement, which was underway in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, was interrupted by the police earlier today. The police is accused of firing tear gas and rubber bullets at the crowd to disperse the rally, an allegation the command denies. And one of those said to have been hit by an object is Senator Magnus Abe. Our correspondent Charles Eruka reports.
Sunday, January the 12th can best be described as the day of rage in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. It may have sounded like a far-fetched alarm when members of the Save Rivers movement dropped the hint that the police had intended to disrupt their planned rally. Well, the D-Day arrives barely 24 hours later. The canopies have been erected at the open field of the Rivers State College of Arts and Science, and then the police struck. All hell is let loose with the arrival of the police. Tear gas fumes fill the air, and the people claim that rubber bullets were also fired, which the police dismiss, even as the assembled crowd flees in all directions amid the pandemonium. There are casualties, of course, prominent among them a serving senator from Rivers State, Magnus Abe. His doctor's analysis suggests he may have been hit by a high-impact object.
There's a history of an impact, a blunt impact on the left chest wall, and inhalation of a lot of fumes, supposedly from canisters of, I wouldn't know what it is. The number one, the blunt trauma to the chest doesn't give us a good picture because there are a lot of layers which must have been involved as compared to when you have a sharp or a penetrating injury. Now there might be bleeding internally, because if you watch the chest wall, the affected side is larger than the right side. Okay, so there's an obvious swelling. So an X-ray or a CT scan, or more precisely an MRI, will be able to tell us what areas have been affected. This is a very critical case. Critical but stable. On the same, he's going to be here for up to 48 hours. It's constant monitoring.
Today, I've come to see my distinguished Senator Magnus Abe, who has been shot at by the police. If you kill all of us, who will you govern? We leave it to God. But we know that our rally will hold in Obiakpo today.
But even at that, it's not over yet. When the movement attempts to relocate to another venue, the Civic Center at Rumigbo, the police relentlessly pursue them to unleash further mayhem. Meanwhile, accusing fingers are being pointed somewhat in a particular direction.
Well, we're expecting as usual for police to come and give us protection. can see the protection that police has given to us today. Police came to try to kill our spirit, to try to kill us as a human being. Is it because it is Nyesom Wike's LGA? Nyesom Wike is a political beginner.
The drama in Rivers State is most likely to continue playing out now that it's clear that the police also appear to have a stake in the political rifts in the oil-rich state. Charles Aruka, the Channels Television News.
And for the Commissioner of Police in Rivers State, Mr. Joseph Mbu, the rally was disrupted because the organizers failed to do the needful, which is obtaining a police permit before holding a rally. He absolved his men of any complicity and insisted that no bullet, either rubber nor live, were expended. Mr. Mbu spoke in his office in Port Harcourt.
Nobody has applied for permission to hold a rally in whatever name. I don't approve rallies because it is only time for political rallies. Well, if groups are going to meet for empowerment programs and whatever, and they apply, we give them men, we approve, we grant approval. Not only granting approval, we also provide them with enough security to see them through the event. Well, the Save Rivers have applied 4 good times for one empowerment program or the other, for which I granted approval on all this. There was one at Eleme, which I granted approval. There was one at Akukutoro local government area, which I granted approval. There was also one at Ugubolo, which I granted approval. And the latest one was the one I granted approval on the 23rd of December at the Liberation Stadium here in Port Harcourt, Elekaya. Well, to my greatest shock, it was turned into a political rally where the Excellency declared for APC, and all the APC bigwigs in this country were there. But well, as far as I was concerned, that was what they applied for. But whatever we saw, we said nothing. But I was shocked that they could go ahead with such plans and then fix the stage and invite various television stations to come with live coverage cameras. I have no choice than to send men there to subdue the place and take over the place. Well, by the time we got there, we found nobody on ground, so we took over the place. In their frustration, over 400 thugs came in, hurling stones and broken bottles on my policemen. Well, the policemen had no choice than to use minimum force to disperse them. And what did they do? They used tear gas and tear gas the crowd, and they dispersed. No live bullet was used. If you know the impacts of a live bullet, you will not be taking the matter like this. If any live bullet was used, the evidence should come up. They should show us proof that on my hand or my neck, if a live bullet passes through your hand, of course the whole hand will be damaged, will be destroyed. Or your neck, you are gone. We did not even use live bullets. What the policemen did was to apply tear smoke to disperse the crowd. That is all I can tell you about what happened today. And I want to advise that if you want to carry out any public protest, you want to carry out a rally, whatever you want to do, because of the way things are going on in our states, you must apply, and I have to grant approval, and I will give you security coverage. But if you don't do that, then you are violating the laws of the country, and we will visit you with the full wrath of the law.